This video should help you with some of the functions that are available to you within Desmos. As you can see, this is the start page when I go to desmos.com. If I click on Launch Calculator, it takes me to where I can input my equations or the points that I would like to plot. The first tutorial is how to enter an equation. I can, if I'm using a mobile device, show the keypad at the bottom. If I have a normal computer with a keyboard or a mobile device with a keyboard, that is not necessary. For instance, if I want to graph y equals 1/2 x, I would put 1 and then the slash button on my calculator, which automatically turned it into a fraction, and then 2. To write my x that I don't want as my denominator, like this, I would then just arrow over and input x, and then -4. Notice as I was typing, my line did appear. If I'm graphing another line, I simply add or just press return. For instance, if I were graphing y equals -2x, it would look like this. Keep in mind, if I'm graphing to find the solution to a system, I'm interested in where they would cross, so I would go to that point and click on the point so that that point was visible. Again, I would likely zoom in a bit, but your instructor will be looking to see both the x and y axis as well as the point of intersection. So at this point, I would take a screenshot to submit to my instructor. You'll notice in this example that I have two equations and I cannot see either of them on my page. So it would be beneficial to click the minus button so that I can see. But again, this makes my lines very, very small. This is where you might want to change the scale. So I will click on the graph settings and manipulate both the x and y axis. As I can see, my lines cross very close to 0. So I might change my x to go from -50 up to +50. And the step that is used is simply the scale. Notice the step is 10 and these are labeled every 10 units. For the y-axis, this one, again, I'm looking for that point where they cross, so I might go from -100 to +300 so that I can zoom in a bit closer, and a step of 50 should be fine. Then I'll click on the graph again to get rid of that, and again, click on that point where the two cross, take a screenshot of this entire graph. Again, be sure to include both the x and the y-axis and where your lines cross each. I will show you how to create a scatter plot and to draw your best fit line in Desmos.com. As you can see, I've already added several points. To add a point, I simply use my keyboard to type in the value, and notice that the point shows up on my graph. When I'm drawing my best fit line, I will choose points that I feel would represent the line of best fit. If they are points that are already on my line, it would be beneficial for me to click on those points so that the coordinates of those points are visible. Once I have done the math to create my line of best fit, I will simply type the equation in on the left-hand side. Now you can see I have a line that goes through my 2 points, and that is my line of best fit. To send this to my instructor, I would take a screenshot of this page. Again, keep in mind that I would not want to have a scatter plot that was very small and centered, because then it is very difficult to see those points. It is beneficial for you to zoom in and to recenter your graph so that the points that you are plotting are visible to both you and to your professor.